Well, we can't talk about communication and conflict resolution without talking about your texting. And I just say right out of the gate that texting and using that as a medium for you to resolve conflict is not a great idea. So I just kind of want to break this down, and I have a few thoughts about it. And first of all, texting, I think it's great. I think if you use it as a way to have these touch points with your partner throughout the day, that's awesome. Hey, honey, how you doing? Or what's for dinner? Or don't forget to pick up the kids from school because I have to work late. Things like that. To manage your life and for logistics. That is completely acceptable, and we're all doing that, and I think that's great, okay? But to use texting as a way to communicate things that are emotional, not a good idea, because you're going to lose the message. Remember, 93% of all of the message that we receive from someone is the body language and the tone and all of that. It's only 7% are the words. And of course, text, that's all you get is the text. You just get the words, maybe some emojis. The emojis, do they help? I don't know. Maybe a fraction, but not enough. I can't send you a picture of a smiley face or a sad face to let you know what I'm really feeling emotionally. That face does not look like my face in terms of the expression that I have on my face, especially in conflict. Imagine all the emotions that you feel when you're in conflict. You're angry, you're frustrated, maybe you're confused and you're hurt. You're going to have to send 15 emojis, and I'm going to have to try to decipher that like, oh, that's what you're feeling? It doesn't exist. You have to be in front of your partner to resolve these things. Because a big part of resolving conflict is me trying to understand you and you trying to understand me and being empathetic with one another and emoting with one another. It should be to the point where I can actually come into the room and look you in the eye and know what you're feeling. It can't always happen, I understand. But that's how strong the expressions that we have on our face can be, and they're constantly changing. And when I'm communicating with you, I'm constantly reading your body language. I'm constantly looking in your eyes. Do I see a glimmer of hope? Do I see sorrow? Are you crying now? Are you teary? Are you inconsolable? Are we getting on the other side of this? Do I see hope? All of those emotions are constantly radiating from us, and we're constantly reading one another. You cannot do that through text. Maybe you can do it through FaceTime a little bit. I still prefer in the same room, but if you have long distance and you're out of town and things like that, maybe I get that. But in every possible way, try to resolve your conflict face to face. Again, use it in that logistical way where it's like, okay, I know we had conflict this morning. We got in a fight, and now we need to resolve this. Can we talk about it tonight? I just want you to know I love you. I am still upset, but I want to talk about it. Use your texting in that way. Now, men love to use text as a way to avoid conflict. All right, there's been some studies done, and so it's like, and they're short with their words when it comes to relationships. Men, they're good with words, and we're good communicators, but we communicate about things that interest us. We'll use more words. Women, in general, use more words when it comes to things that are relationship in nature. And if you're in conflict and there's a lot of emotion there, your wife, or your girlfriend, whatever, she's going to send you this text, and it could be really, really long. And I'm going to let you know right now, women, they're going to read like the first 3 lines, and then they're not going to read anymore. Because men are brass tacks. A lot of us that we like to do the story in reverse. Okay, tell me the punchline. Tell me what happens at the end, and then fill in the blanks. Go backwards with it. All right, it cost $100. Okay, and then I want to know why. Don't tell me all this and then give me that. All right. So a lot of us are that way. Where women are different. They like the story. They like it to unfold. And so When you try to do that with texting, so much gets lost. Again, you're not in the room. I can't read you. You can't read me. I can't be empathetic with you, and you can't be empathetic with me. And that's where the healing and the repair happens. Healing and repair doesn't happen with words. It happens with this deeper peace. I want to feel from you that you're sorry. Now, in terms of infidelity, that's what I always hear from partners. They keep asking the same thing over and over again. Why? Because they want to feel it from you, and they haven't felt it from you. Well, they said they're sorry, but I don't think they meant it. And I tell them, I said, there's going to come a day when your partner will say they're sorry in a way where now you understand and you feel that, yes, they get it. And it was true. And it came from a deeper place. You can't do that from a text. That's where repair comes from. Only 7% are words. 93%. Don't try to use texting as a way to resolve your conflict. Now, it's going to feel like I'm switching gears, and I am in a bit, but it's all going to make sense, okay? Now, when it comes to old hurts and old resentments, and when we hang on to that stuff and we ruminate on it, it turns into bitterness, which turns into vengefulness. And the vengefulness can be, I'm mad at you, and so I want you to feel the pain that I feel. It's about feeling. It's about emoting. Remember, repair doesn't come through words, it comes through this feeling. Well, that can work in the negative too. I feel this anger towards you, or I feel this hurt from you, and I want you to feel hurt. Now, a lot of our conflict comes from unresolved hurts and unresolved pain and betrayals. Now, when you're texting and you're trying to resolve conflict through text, or you're trying to have emotional conversations, a lot of heavy negative emotions, and you're using email and you're using texts, that enables you to keep ruminating, because now you can go back and read that. Like you're in conflict and you go back to 2015 and you pull up a text that your partner sent you or something that you sent them. Oh yeah, well look, it's right here. You said it. You've been holding on to that for 15 years. You got to let go of it. How can you ever forgive your partner and go on and grow if you're holding on to all of these texts and all of these emails from all of these years, and you're cataloging all the hurt? You hurt me then, and you hurt me then, and you hurt me then. And every so often you go back and you read that stuff, and it fuels that anger and that hatred. And your partner is trying to move on. Oh, look, I apologized for that. Don't use text or email to resolve your conflict, because if you do, you're putting it in stone, and it's permanent. That's the cool thing about our brain. It has this ability to remember, but it also you have the ability to forget things. And I think that's by design. Because remember, or just think about it, if you could remember every single hurt that someone has done to you over the course of your life, that would crush you. It would be too much. Because we're human and we're imperfect, and we can be mean and we can be selfish, and we do that to others. Imagine if all the people in our life came to us and showed us a list of all the things we did to them. That would crush us as well. So if we catalog all the hurt that we've done to others, or we catalog all the hurt that people have done to us, that would be overwhelming. So our brain allows us to forget. And I think that's one of the big pieces of repair, is not forgetting in a way where you're an idiot and you keep falling back into these same problems, and you keep having these same interactions or dating the same type of person because you forgot, oh, I probably shouldn't have dated an alcoholic, and then I went and met another alcoholic and I did the same thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you experience things, you learn from it, and then you put that on the shelf and you leave it in the past. Stop bringing that stuff into your current situation. So don't put that stuff in stone. Resolve your conflict face to face. Remember, 93%, it's body language and it's tone and it's volume. And I want to look into your eyes and I want you to feel my empathy for you. And I want to feel the empathy that you have for me. Even though we're upset with one another, we're still partners. We're still trying to resolve this. I'm still your biggest cheerleader. I still want you to win. And I hope that you still want me to win. And I'm not trying to win the argument. I want to defeat the problem. And texting facilitates that process of me against you because I can formulate what I'm going to say. And some people use the argument, well, I text it and then I read it and then I'll go back and I'll edit it and I'll soften it. I guess that's okay, if you look at it from that point. But where's the authenticity in that? I want to have a real-time exchange with you, and I want you to say it how you feel it. And then correct yourself along the way. I hate you. Well, no, I don't hate you, but I'm really frustrated. That means more to me than you having this polished text or email that if it's 3 pages, I'm not going to read anyway. So you spent all this time in it. I don't read it. And then I get home and you ask why. And I'm like, well, I would rather have a conversation. And then you get mad because, well, I spent all this time and I crafted this thing. So now you have more conflict, right? So just be careful about using your texting in a way that just creates more conflict, right? Repair, it doesn't come from words. It comes from me sitting in front of you and us working it out and me looking in your eyes and you looking in my eyes and I'm feeling what you're feeling and you're feeling what I'm feeling and we work it out. That's where repair comes from, all right? So be careful about how you text.